My Audi was still warm from the drive when I saw the tow truck's claw hovering over it like a vulture. Karen, with her clipboard and self-righteous smirk, stood there orchestrating my worst nightmare. I'm Mia, a 28-year-old graphic designer who moved to this sleepy city neighborhood for its charm, not its drama. But charm doesn't pay the bills, and apparently, neither does common sense in this so-called HOA. They weren't even a real homeowners association, just a clique of nosy neighbors led by Karen, a 50-something busybody who'd crowned herself queen of the block. Her latest crusade? Towing my car for violating her made-up parking rules. I'd parked my Audi Q5, my pride, my hustle, my late-night Uber gig lie flinny in the street outside my rental. It was legally parked, mind you, with permits up to date. But Karen's HOA had been sending me passive-aggressive notes for weeks, claiming my car was too flashy for the neighborhood's aesthetic. Too flashy? This from a woman whose front yard screamed dollar store flamingo apocalypse. I ignored her notes, thinking she'd tire out. Big mistake. That evening, as I stepped out to grab takeout, I saw her with a tow truck driver, a burly guy named Chuck who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. The truck's lights flashed, and my car was inches from being hoisted. "Stop!" I shouted, sprinting across the street, my heart pounding like a war drum. Karen turned, her eyes glinting with victory. "Mia, your vehicle's in violation of community standards," she said, her voice dripping with fake concern. "We're towing it for the greater good." "Greater good," I snapped, my voice shaking. "You don't have the authority to tow anything. This isn't even a real HOA. Chuck shifted uncomfortably, his tow hook frozen mid-air. Neighbors started peeking out from curtains, drawn to the commotion like moths to a flame. Karen's face reddened, but she doubled down. "We've voted, Mia. Your car's an eyesore, and we're enforcing the rules." I laughed, a bitter, jagged sound. "Voted? You and your book club don't get to play judge and jury." I pulled out my phone, already dialing the city's non-emergency line. Karen's eyes narrowed. She wasn't used to pushback. Chuck muttered something about not signing up for this and lowered the tow hook, but Karen grabbed his arm. "Do your job," she hissed. That's when things got ugly. Karen lunged for my phone, her manicured nails grazing my wrist. I yanked back, stumbling into the curb. "You're stealing my property," I yelled, loud enough for the growing crowd to hear. A neighbor, Mr. Torres, a retired mechanic with a soft spot for underdogs, stepped forward. "She's right, Karen. You can't tow without city approval." His voice was calm but firm, like a parent scolding a brat. Karen's face twisted into something feral. "Stay out of this, Torres. This is about community standards." "Community?" I shot back. "You're bullying people into submission." The crowd murmured, some nodding, others whispering. Karen's fake HOA had been a thorn in everyone's side, finding people for untrimmed hedges, dictating mailbox colors, even shaming Mrs. Lee for her tacky wind chimes. But towing my car? That was her power trip gone too far. Chuck, caught in the crossfire, looked at me. "Lady, I just follow orders." She said it was legit. I glared at Karen. "Show me the permit, then. Show me one shred of legal proof." She froze, her clipboard suddenly a useless prop. The crowd's murmurs grew louder, and I saw phones come out, recording. Karen's empire was crumbling, and she knew it. That's when she played her last card. "You're a renter, Mia," she spat. "You don't belong here. You're dragging this neighborhood down with your lifestyle." The word hit like a slap. Lifestyle? I'm a single woman working 2 jobs to afford this place. If anything, her bigotry was the real eyesore. Mr. Torres stepped closer, his voice low but lethal. "That's enough, Karen. You're done. The city dispatcher on my phone promised an officer was en route. Karen, sensing defeat, tried to rally. This isn't over, she shouted, storming toward her house. But the tow truck didn't move. Chuck, bless his reluctant heart, unhooked my Audi and muttered an apology before driving off. The crowd cheered, a small but sweet victory. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. The next morning, a city inspector showed up. Turns out, someone, probably Mr. Torres, had tipped off the authorities about Karen's fake HOA. The inspector, a no-nonsense woman named Carla, had a thick file of complaints. Karen's association had been extorting neighbors for years, issuing fake fines and threats. Towing my car was just the latest in a long line of scams. Carla slapped Karen's group with a $5,000 fine for illegal towing and fraud, plus a cease and desist order. The neighborhood erupted in quiet celebration. Mrs. Lee even hung extra wind chimes in defiance. But Karen didn't go quietly. She stood on her porch, screaming about lawsuits and ungrateful neighbors, her voice cracking with desperation. I almost felt sorry for her. She'd built her little kingdom on fear, and now it was gone. My Audi stayed put, untouched, but the victory felt hollow. I'd won, but at what cost? My neighbors were divided. Some thanked me, others glared, resenting the drama. Karen's husband, a quiet man who'd never challenged her, packed a bag and left that week. Rumor was he'd had enough of her tyranny too. The real gut punch came a month later. I was walking to my car when I saw it. A foreclosure notice on Karen's lawn. Her fake HOA had been funding her lifestyle extorted fines funneled into her mortgage payments. Without that cash, she'd defaulted. I watched her load boxes into a U-Haul, her face gaunt, her flamingo army dismantled. She caught my eye, and for a split second, I saw shame, not anger. Then she turned away, and that was that. I drove my Audi that night, the city lights blurring past. I'd fought for what was mine, and I'd won. But the neighborhood felt fractured, like a cracked windshield holding together but never quite whole. Karen was gone, but her shadow lingered. Gossip, mistrust, the scars of her reign. I wondered if I'd done the right thing, exposing her. Had I saved the neighborhood or just stirred the pot? Maybe both. What do you think? Was it worth tearing down Karen's fake empire? Or did the cost outweigh the justice? Share your take on where the line falls between standing up and stirring trouble.